What's up guys, welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Arachne. Castle level is a 31. He's got a challenge to boost me up to level 30. So it'll be pretty difficult, but it won't be as difficult as some of the other castles that I've done that have been like, +4. The only reason this will be difficult is because my DPS is just slightly lower than like level 30s. I'm on like the low end of the spectrum, I would say, for level 30 DPS. And then also, my skills are lower level, my health and armor and obviously that sort of thing. So, I mean, I don't know, I kind of want to just try to, go for this, because I feel like, yeah, see, that's so good. You realize there I actually have to kill 2 mob groups, 2 entire groups. This is what I was talking about when I was saying that you could really exploit explodifiers pretty nicely. This is kind of exactly what I was talking about, so I'll explain it a little bit more once I clear this out. Hopefully the explodifier should be close. Yeah, he's right here now. Alright. So what he did with this is he had... It looks like there's still another one over here too, which is really annoying. I'm going to clear this out beforehand, but just remember that there's a group right here, because that's pretty important. Alright, so what he did is he had a snotter over here. Right here. It pulled through the wall over to here. Then it pulled through the wall over to here. Then it pulled through to this wall over here with 2 explodifiers right here. And then he had a mob group here and a mob group here. So basically, if you want to engage these explodifiers in the next minute and a half to 2 minutes, you have to engage 3 groups at once. That's why it's so ridiculous that explodifiers have the range that they do, in my opinion. How are you ever supposed to kill that? You have to have insane DPS to be able to get through 3 groups at once, and then if you don't, you'll never get through the time limit, because one room is going to take you 2 minutes. That's a total of 3 groups for 2 minutes. That's insane. There's no way you'd make it through. Anyway, I'm doing it again. I'm pulling 2 groups because I have to, because of explodifiers. I think this is a Mr. Boom Boom though. I mean, they aren't that difficult to take care of when you're the proper level. What I've noticed is, they're not that bad. They take about 2 headshots, they're not that tanky, they don't do a ton of damage, especially if you avoid their attacks. These guys do a little bit more damage, I have to say. You actually have to be kind of cautious of these ones, because they'll auto-attack you for 150, and then I think their explosions do close to 800, which is kind of insane. I don't think many people see see these units all that much. Especially, I don't think explodifiers are as bad as the Mr. Boom Booms, because they don't really have any sort of damage threat, and they don't take all that long to kill. But Mr. Boom Boom, man, for archers to take care of, it's probably the #1 unit to use against archers at level 31. Because it takes you 2 auto attacks to get through the summoned guys. And then, they'll, hit you for 150, and they'll explode on you for 800. And they have insane range. It's almost like, a Scorpio, in my opinion, that there's no real reason not to use it, Scorpios used to be, not how they are now. Alright, I'm gonna do something a little risky just because I want to drop a volley on those guys. Although I think I missed it a little bit. I guess I didn't. And it actually didn't aggro anything else, so that's good. I mean, I don't mind the units too much, the Mr. Boom Booms, they're okay. I'm not gonna complain about them too much, but I think people will once they start to get up to a higher level. I didn't really think Scorpios were the worst thing in the world, because I don't know, I spent a lot of time farming this gear, and I'm assuming once I level up to 30, I'll probably spend a bit more time farming gear as well, just to get to like an acceptable point. I don't think this game has as much of a grind as some other like MMOs or anything like that. So I mean, I've played MMOs in the past. I've kind of stopped playing them because I don't like the grind, but I don't think it's so bad that, you know, like, you spend maybe 8 hours to get really, really good gear. This was during Dirt Farm age. I'm not sure how I'd farm gear now. I might try to find an easy NPC castle or something. Honestly, I don't think that people are going to spend a ton of time farming player castles to get gear, unless it's, you know, obviously like a farm castle or something. So I can see that being a problem, because it's just not exciting to really attack castles. If Ubisoft can do something about that, maybe it'll be good, but as it is now, it's not really fun to attack castles, I have to say. Alright, so I haven't really said any critiquing or anything about this castle. Really, I just like the Explodifier thing. I don't think people can make it through based on the time limit. Because of the Explodifiers. This one, I don't know how that knockback will work. I guess this is going to be really good against Knights. That's my guess. Archers, I think you'll have it happen just kind of like that, where I don't take any damage whatsoever. Because if you get knocked back, you'll get out of range. However, that knockback will make it extremely difficult for any Knights to get up on this. Like, they have to get through 3 mouse wheel traps and this thing. I feel like that's almost impossible for a Knight. So that's probably a setup to, you know, make Knights hate their life. And that thing does 400 damage a tick, which is pretty high. That's what I said, is when I'm talking about Stairmasters and them getting a specialization, like one of their specializations becoming useful at level 28, that's the one. Instead of 40 damage a tick, it does 250 and then 400 at level 28 and 32 respectively, which is kind of insane. That's to my person with my low armor. It'll be a little bit lower for like Knights and Mages because it's magic damage and stuff like that. I don't know about having Cyclopses on charge at this specialization, or at this level, I mean. I feel like your level 32 specialization should almost always be that over the head slam, because it's just so ridiculously good. Oh, that's annoying. Well, he was linked to a Defendatron. I guess it was part of another group or something, because he delinked pretty quickly. I guess that is supposed to be so that if he takes damage from like a headshot as an initiation. Oh no, there's his Defendatron. So this Defendatron's way too slow, as you can see. He just doesn't make it into the combat quick enough to really be useful. I don't know what you could do to fix that, but that's obviously the case. So far I've actually been doing okay. Not really for the time limit, but for potions. I haven't had to use one yet. And I think that's because the real strength of Explodifiers and Mr. Boom Boom isn't really their damage, it's their the time that they take to kill them. And like, these archers are kind of cute, but you know, you can take 0 damage from them if you just play it smart. Alright, and then the boss. Oh god. Alright, well maybe because I'm level 30 this will be okay. I love this boss though. I love how it looks. I haven't really fought it all that much because I'm not quite that level, but it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's very space oriented here. $800 damage per tick if you're standing in that acid too. It's pretty easy to avoid the acid though. But he takes a really long time to kill. I don't think there's any way I can shoot him while he's up in the air. I should probably potion. It's a good thing that I had all these potions left, because this guy actually takes quite a few of them. Yeah, this guy's a really good boss in my opinion. He actually heals when he's in the air? That's insane. Not much, but his health did go up a little bit. There we go. Alright. My god. Well, 11 minutes. I used all 3 potions, I think, on the boss room. Maybe 1 previously, I don't really remember. But it's a good castle in the sense that no one's really going to make it through on time. Like, I'd like, have the question, has anyone made it through on time in your castle? And if they do make it through on time, do they have to pull multiple groups to get through? I'm assuming yes. Like, I'm assuming they have to pull that first room itself, and they have to have really good gear to be able to clear that pretty quickly. So we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up is Washbear. I have no idea how to say that. Castle level is 28, I believe, but he boosted me up to level 27, so this shouldn't be too bad. You know, you guys could see the difference in that last castle where I was only 1 level difference under, and I really didn't have that much trouble based on damage. It's really just based on the time limit. Which is fun for me. Like, I don't mind taking a while in castles. I just hate, like, really, really spongy enemies. You know, like, things that take tons and tons of damage and just sit there for days just, like, hitting them. Like, that's not fun. But dodging stuff and that sort of thing, that's kind of fun to me. Like, dodging these Scorpios, and then hitting them and seeing actual life go down. If I was, like, level 24 doing this, I'd be taking down half as much as I'm taking down per shot here. You know, maybe not that extreme, but something like that, and after a while it just gets really repetitive. Like, this group isn't really all that fun, but, you know, as long as they're not super bullet spongy, which they're not, it's okay. Or arrow spongy, I suppose. Like that headshot did enough damage where it's like, okay, I can get onto the next group, that's cool. It definitely looks like you're going for a slowing castle, like a time waster type castle, which I think is fine. I think that with you being level 28 though, you should definitely have some explodifiers. Like, they're so good, such good units. I feel like at this level that's the way to waste time, not so much these. Although I do like the Mega Muttons. But like right here, if you had an explodifier right there, I feel like that'd be pretty good because they'd be standing here, and I'd have to pull both groups regardless. I don't mind the Scorpio, don't get me wrong. I think it's a good idea to pull you into the other group or whatever. Alright. Does the castle go this way? Yes it does. That actually worked out pretty well for you. I like the slows out in the corners because a lot of the time if you get pulled this way, you don't want to go back through the acid, so you go into the unknown area, and then there's a bunch of slows over here that makes it so that Jimbo has a better chance of hitting you. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm guessing again, like a Scorpio or something. Okay, it's a Archers. I don't mind just volleying that. That Mega Mutton actually took a ridiculous amount of damage. I have no idea why he took that much from volley. He was. I looked at him to see if he was level 22, because that's what it seemed like for a second there. So like before, that Mega Mutton took that much damage from just a volley, and that right there was a volley plus a headshot. Which that's one thing that I can say. If you have that Mega Mutton out there in the open like that, an archer that can initiate with a volley plus a headshot, because the way that the timing works basically is if he's right out in front where I can get both attacks off without moving at all and just like spam it as quickly as possible, he won't get his charge off. Like I can volley, headshot, roll before he gets his charge off. But if he's, you know, behind something, or if I have to move a second before I can get off the secondary attack, I'll only be able to initiate with one of the two skills. Oh, that was a bad volley. Well, maybe. Like right here, I kind of have to move because I don't know when he's going to start charging, and he was right up next to me and stuff like that. It's impossible if he's already moving, basically. I'm hoping this Mega Mutton will die. There we go. This is a good placement for your Ballista Trap. It's hard for me to find a spot to fight in. That's not covered. Just this corner is. Okay. Oh god. That was really, really close. I didn't notice him on the other side of that jelly wall. I kind of like the fact that you used most of your time-wasting groups at the start of your castle, so that if they were to drop health globes, they wouldn't really help the person that was attacking you. I kind of think that's pretty cool. Right, because I haven't taken any damage, so if I use all of my time-waster groups at the beginning, how am I supposed to heal up from that? Because obviously I don't want to walk all the way back for health globes or anything like that. So I think that's pretty neat. Alright, this is an interesting group. Looks like you... Did you end up getting your Zeke? It doesn't look like you ended up getting your Zeke enraged through all of that. Which is like one of the things where you really have to be concerned, because that's really the whole point of this group. It adds so much DPS when you have the Zeke enraged. But it looks like only the Defendatrons got enraged, which is kind of pointless for you. So I would be a little bit concerned about that. Like, obviously you have a pretty high % chance. Oh god, I died anyway. 1,000 damage, Zeke shot. But, what I was saying, you need to be a little bit concerned because the 10 points that you have in this group really isn't to enrage anything else, right? It's only to enrage this Zeke. So, since you're investing so much into it, you have to be kind of cautious of that. Now, I think the reasoning behind you not getting yourself enraged is you had your Zeke like here, 2 Defendatrons up here or something, and then you had your, I don't really remember how it was set up, but basically whatever is in front gets the enrage. So whatever is closest to the hero at any given time, that's what the Puppeteer or Dr. Skull would enrage first. So you want to have the Zeke kind of close by his Defendatron counterpart, so that, you know, hopefully he'll get enraged. That's about the only thing that you can do, because the AI doesn't really allow you to do anything else. I kind of wish they had allowed you to do more complex AI commands. I think that would be pretty neat. Definitely be interesting. Just like not complex, I guess, but simple AI commands like enrage this unit, and then, you know, fall back for X number of seconds, which cannot be higher than a certain number, else it would be, you know, overpowered, because you can make it fall back to the end of the level or something. You know, hold position for 5 seconds or something like that as a command. I think those type of things would be kind of neat. Probably a lot of programming on their end, though. So yeah, we'll jump to number 3 in just a second. Alright, for number 3 we have bTTcha. Castle level is an 18. Run through this on my knight. Oh, that was annoying. Alright, that's a pretty standard group. I'm already noticing that there's a trap up here. How are you going to get me in it? Looks like just a hunger bot. So I just won't give the angle. This sort of thing is just not going to work during this patch anymore, in my opinion. I don't know, if you're actually having success with it, it's kind of crazy. But I think the majority of people know what these are these days, and there's just no way to actually make them work. Unless you use some crazy visual trick, which takes like a ton of time to set up. Alright. Again, I'm noticing this. Just gonna hug this wall. I might have pulled a double group. Alright. I can't believe that Zeke actually had an angle on me from there. I thought he was gonna be behind the wall. It's alright though. So you're using a lot of springboard traps here, and I feel like you're just like losing out on a lot of damage potential based on other traps. Like if you had a rotating cannon or a ballista trap here to stop me from like abusing that corner or something, that would add, you know, 400 to 800 damage just straight off there. And even if I get hit by this trap, it's not really going to kill me in my opinion. It's just going to add about that same amount of damage and make me deal with 2 groups at once. So I really do think that you should be switching those out, because they're quite easy to dodge these days. Alright, and then a Snottingham to round it all off. So yeah, I mean, the biggest problem here is the fact that you have a ton of springboard traps that won't really do anything for you. Even if you get the hits off, it's not an instant kill. And even before, like, when you were able to use them because camera rotation wasn't there, I was saying things like, you know, pulling through an entire castle is pointless, you just want to have Stairmasters at the other end in order to fully kill the hero 100%. Like, if you don't kill the hero 100%, springboard traps actually just make the hero get through your castle faster, because it'll force them to kill 2 groups at once, Yes, I might have to use a potion or something, but I'm not going to get hit by enough of the springboard traps to matter. And like by themselves, the springboard trap does 0 damage whatsoever if it hits. So it really needs to be whatever it's used for, whatever it, you know, pulls on the other end of that springboard trap to really make use of it. And it's just so easy to avoid them now. I just haven't seen any. I've seen one that was in like 3 viewer castles ago. Maybe it was 1 viewer castle ago. I don't know. 1 to 3 viewer castle ago, someone used one where it was kind of a visual trick where I didn't see it coming based on the wall not disappearing in time, and I almost got hooked by that, but I still didn't. So they're extremely difficult to use these days. Anyway, that is number 3, so we'll end the video here. If you guys enjoyed what I do, please subscribe. If you want to be a part of viewer castles, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. You can comment on my castle or comment on a video, give me your in-game name, and I will get to your castle whenever I have time. So thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.